I never thought one night could turn my heart from racing with love to burning with fury. It began as a surprise. I'd come home from my business trip 2 days ahead of schedule, eager to sweep Claire off her feet. My plan was to take her to the Ember Lounge, the same bar where we had our very first date, and remind her of the moment I asked her to marry me. The ring on her finger wasn't just gold. It was a symbol of my promise, our future. But as I pushed open a heavy oak door that evening, I learned a cruel truth. Promises mean nothing if they're only worn, not kept. The bar glowed with amber light bouncing off polished bottles. Music pulsed faintly under a low hum of chatter. And then I saw her, Claire, but she wasn't alone. A man sat beside her, leaning in too close, his hand resting on her chair, their faces nearly touching as they laughed over cocktails. She twirled her hair and smiled, the very smile that once belonged to me in those early, electric days of falling in love. My chest tightened as I froze, half hidden by a pillar. I tried to convince myself I was wrong. Maybe he was just a friend. But when she brushed her fingers against his hand and whispered something that made him grin like a wolf, the illusion shattered. The bitterness of betrayal hit me, like a strong drink gone sour. I forced my legs to move, each step slow and deliberate, until I stood before them. Claire, I said evenly, though my insides trembled. Her eyes widened, panic flashing before she masked it with feigned surprise. James, you're back early. The man turned lazily, sizing me up like I was nothing more than a nuisance. Who's this? He asked. This. I held up my left hand where my ring should have been. I'm her fiancé. Her face drained of color. James, it's not what it looks like. I let out a hollow laugh that didn't sound like me. It never is it? The man shifted uneasily. Look, I didn't know she was. Don't. I cut him off, my eyes locked on hers. This isn't about you. Reaching into my pocket, I felt the cool weight of the ring I had once slipped onto her hand with shaking fingers and tearful eyes. I pulled it out, held it up so the dim light caught its shine, then set it gently on the table between them. Give that to whoever you really love, I said quietly and turned away. Outside, the night air was sharp and biting, but it felt cleaner than the suffocating air inside. My phone buzzed again and again, Claire calling, texting, pleading. James, wait. Please let me explain. It's not what you think. Come home. But I didn't. I drove aimlessly until I ended up by the old pier, staring at the black water lapping against the posts. My knuckles ached from gripping the wheel as memories replayed. Our first date, her laughter at that same bar, the night we planned our future beneath the stars. The way she whispered, I can't wait to spend my life with you when I proposed. Had it all been a lie? Or was I simply not enough? The next day, I finally went home. She was waiting, disheveled, eyes swollen from crying. James, she said, rushing toward me. I made a mistake. It wasn't serious. It just happened. We were drinking. He's a co-worker. Stop. I cut her off, raising a hand. Tears spilled down her cheeks. Please, just hear me out. It meant nothing. You've been so busy, so distant lately. I just wanted to feel wanted. Her words hit me like a blow. So this is my fault? My voice cracked. I've been working for us, for our future, and you repay me with infidelity over cocktails? It wasn't like that, she whispered. It was exactly like that. Days slipped into a week. She tried everything. Flowers, desperate texts, promises of therapy, late-night confessions swearing she loved only me. But love without respect is just slow poison. Driven by both anger and self-preservation, I started digging. And what I uncovered cut deeper than the scene in the bar. Months of texts, inside jokes, late-night drinks, a hotel receipt from just 2 weeks earlier, while I was away in Chicago. Each discovery unraveled another thread of the life I thought we'd built. When I confronted her, my words weren't loud, they were cold. Claire, I said one evening in the kitchen where we once planned our wedding menu. I know everything, not just the bar. Her face crumpled. James, please. No, don't please me. You had choices, again and again, and every time you chose him, or at least not me. She broke down, sobbing into her hands. I was scared. I thought we were too perfect, that I'd lose myself. I just wanted to feel alive. I stared at her. You wanted to feel alive? You killed everything. 2 days later, I moved out. The ring was already at the jeweler's, waiting to be sold. Friends called me cold. Some urged forgiveness. Others suggested revenge. But I didn't want revenge. I wanted my dignity back. Weeks passed. I buried myself in work, rebuilding a version of me that didn't revolve around her approval. Nights were the hardest. The silence stretching long, my hand reaching for a phone that no longer buzzed with her goodnight messages. Eventually, I walked back into the Ember Lounge. Alone but stronger. The bartender recognized me, gave me a cautious nod. And there she was, Claire, sitting by herself, staring at the door like she was waiting for me to return. The man was gone. Her smile, too. She rose as soon as she saw me. James, I didn't think you'd come. I didn't come for you, I said softly. I came to make peace with myself. We talked. Not as lovers, not as enemies, but as two people who had shattered something fragile beyond repair. I'm sorry, she whispered, tears shining in the low light. I thought he made me feel special, but all he did was cost me the one person who truly loved me. I didn't answer right away. My heart still hurt, but the wound had begun to scar. I loved you, I said finally, but I can't love who you chose to be. That night, I left with a strange calmness. I wasn't taking her back. I wasn't plotting revenge. I was simply moving on. Because sometimes the most powerful response to betrayal isn't anger or begging or breaking. It's walking away with your self-respect intact. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that the man had ghosted her. She was alone, trying to mend what she had broken. As for me, I started traveling again, rediscovering the parts of myself I'd left behind. I met new people, laughed freely, and realized healing isn't about erasing the past. It's about refusing to let it poison your future. And the ring? I never bought another one like it. Next time I propose, it won't just be with gold and diamonds. It will be with eyes wide open. Because love is a choice. And so is betrayal. I placed the ring on the table while she flirted with him. Her reaction left me speechless.